2189, good luck. So not played before, no head-to-head score there. But you get about 25 seconds there to make your first move. Let's play traditional Reti. So that's the Reti opening. Okay, we allows us to turn it into just a regular d4 game, so we get rid of one of our opponent's centre pawns. Now we'll develop our other knight. Then we've got to decide what we're going to do with our bishop. Should we go for our normal setup? Or do we try and charge in the centre? Let's go for our normal setup. It's what we play most of the time, so why not? Take, so we take back towards the centre, comes forward. Let's try and charge that pawn, push and release our bishop potentially, but we're just trying to get castled and then worry about what to do. Okay, he might get ready to launch one here, let's just see. Opponent has how many games? 4,600. Is he going to fly down the board? He might do. Do we go for a silly sacrifice? Takes. It's a bit much, isn't it? It's a bit much, but queen up is a move. Threatening to take the pawn. I guess you come down. But then we've maybe got bishop here. I like the look of that, actually. I'm going to play queen up to pin the knight, because we create an immediate threat. If bishop down, I think we've got bishop up to challenge that bishop. Okay, pawn down. If we take and you take here, we take the knight. Let's just see how our opponent does this. You can drop the bishop back or indeed forwards. He has gone there. But now if I take, if bishop takes, don't I just take? I think it's a pawn. But if I take, he goes here. I take. It's a pawn, isn't it? Isn't it just a pawn? Am I missing something? Gain a pawn, lose a knight, gain a knight. No, I'm getting confused, aren't I? Gain a pawn, lose a knight, gain a knight. Lose a bishop, gain a second pawn. He can block and he doesn't lose his rook or his other bishop. So it doesn't quite work. Let's just play bishop up like we planned and try and get rid of that bishop. Okay, so he's offered the queen trade, which should be fine. I'm quite happy to play endgames with anyone and everyone. So I'm going to take that and get castled. Now I've got to put this pawn safe. If I go up now, you can challenge it either way. I want to move this pawn so I can free up the rook though. So I'm going to push up this first and then maybe here. He could push on here. It's a little bit bold. Maybe we can just challenge it. But c4 is a very natural square for the pawn, so he's gone there. It allows the knight to jump, but we'd be really happy to take. So I'm going to play it now just before black gets a chance to stop us from pushing. Oh, he's done that immediately. Okay, so we can trade off a c pawn for a center pawn, so that should be good for us as a principle. So I'm going to do that. So knight back again should be good as a principle. Knight out wide, I don't see the benefit, but I've got rook across. But I think we'll just stick to the principle, trade the bishop, and then figure out where this is going. Okay, there is a 2-on-1 for our opponent on this side of the board. It could be awkward. Pawn could push down. Let's see what he wants to do. Let's activate the rook first and see if he pushes. Oh, he does that immediately. Okay. So knight here encourages a pawn push, but I don't see what we get there. So let's play across. I assume he'll match it, which he's done. I'd like to push this pawn, so how? Let's go here. Try and cover this. If he comes in, we can just take. Or maybe we take the rook first. He's happy to trade everything off. So I think I should push this pawn. But is it a blunder? Is it? That's the other concept. So we can trade the rook, pawn up, but he might get forward. But then pawn up. Yeah, I think we should do it like that and try and push this pawn up. Okay, he has come up, so we'll go here. Try and take. And then it's just this weakness on this side. It's a bit of a weakness, to be fair. If I can push the pawn and double these up, that's not so bad. But, I mean, it's still, I guess, queenable for black, isn't it? Queenable. So here you take and we can't take back. So rook up is the only move to guard. That's a little bit of an issue. Have I gone wrong? Rook up. Knight down across, or knight down across. I think I'm committed, aren't I? I've got to go here. We'd love to swap a pawn for a pawn. I don't think we're going to do that. So we might actually just be lost now. We might have gone fundamentally wrong here. He's got rook takes, but I can throw a check in and then take back. So I've seen that one. He's now threatening to take and win our actual rook, just win it clean. So I think king up looks to be a move. Do we check first? Let's just step forward. There was a big threat there. Yeah, we've gone wrong in this game. We've gone wrong, haven't we, somewhere? One of the trades hasn't quite worked out for us. Now, maybe we can try and get forward like this. So he's dealt with that initially. So up. I don't think quite works, but we've got knight across. Hit the pawn, threaten a check and come behind. So he pushes forward. So check and behind. But the knight, again, it guards for now, but we can challenge the knight. That's what he's gone for. We can go here actually and hit the knight and the pawn. So knight takes, we take with a check. If he moves here, he could just take. It could be good for us, or check in here. I think we should trade. And we're going to try and just get one of the pawns if we can and hold on. Okay, so I think I need to go here now. So he either defends it and we push, or he takes, we take. And then he's got the outside pawn, but we've got the extra pawn this side. The theoretical draw if we get down to one pawn. Well, same sort of difference. But if I take here, rook takes, takes, takes. We can't step into the box. You draw the box, we can't do it, so that's losing. So we have to take. Now we have to get behind the pawn. Okay, now we're going to try and fix his king if we can. Okay, he's gone there, so we might not be able to. I guess I can step up though. If he takes here, obviously that's the pawn that we want. Oh, he has, he's given up his pawn. Is he just trying to draw the game? He may be just trying to draw the game, and maybe that's the best we can do. I think that's what he wants. Okay, let's offer a draw. I think he wants a draw here. There's not much else we can do now. The way he traded that pawn off there, I think he wants a draw, so there's no realistic way to win this one, unless you take really silly risks and blunder it away. It's just a theoretical draw with no big chances either way. Now let's go here, keep pressure on the pawn. Okay. How do I do this? Yeah, I think I should keep the king here. He can obviously try and target my pawn, but... Oh, he's pushed forward. Now he's split his pawns. So is rook here a move? King just goes here, right? And that's no good. So take, and I assume we check. We could go here. King back, back. Yeah, I think I need to be behind this pawn and just in the corner. Okay, let's just check. Whichever way he steps, we just go the other way and hit the pawn. Not much else we can do here. Yeah, not much else we could do with that one. Okay, let's pause it and check it in engine language, but it was not much other option realistically there. So 54 moves, they're the move times for both players there. Opponent playing it very, very quickly. So we just put it through the engine. But yeah, it's one of them positions, it's you could play it on forever, but you're just as good a chance of risking losing it as winning it. But it's really such a theoretical draw. I'd be surprised if it's not 0.0 level at the end, but it may not be. Maybe it's one of them odd ones because the pawns are split. We'll find out in a moment. Yeah, it looks to be 0.0 flatline level, doesn't it? It looks like it is. It is indeed. Doesn't mean there's not lots of mistakes earlier on in the game. We might have both blundered here and there, but completely flatline level, as flat as you get there. We both just played it pretty well at the end. That's just chess, though, isn't it? That's just chess. Wow, it's flatline level all the way from here. Move 35, so the last 20 moves, it's completely flatline level. Okay, so we were slightly better here, very marginally better. Well, 0.04, I mean, that's just leveling at our level, isn't it? Just level. So it looks like the whole entire game is basically, we've just played it pretty well, both of us. Neither of us have messed it up. We have indeed, haven't we? We played 96% versus 96% and a CPL of 9 each. And it basically means we both just played a perfectly good normal game. Neither of us have blundered. So there's not much else to be said. But in the opening, this is the traditional Reti opening, which you'll see me play an awful lot of. But we've turned it more into a d4 game here. See, the engine prefers the immediate d4 over the knight development, but it's still, at our level, it's not much of a big difference there. Excuse me. So here I should have actually played queen up instead of developing the bishop. I was just trying to get rid of this bishop. So queen up was better, 0.9 to 0.2. So that's something to learn from. But then it's just basically simplified down and we've both played it pretty well. So this was all okay. In this position it felt clear that our opponent wanted to try and draw it here when he just traded this pawn off. There, that pawn for that pawn. If you're trying to win it with black, you're going to try and keep that pawn. It's still a theoretical draw, but you try and keep that outside pawn instead of going for this one. And then it's just completely flatline level the whole rest of the game, isn't it? So we're just manoeuvring here. We're getting to a position where we're just basically playing it out. Not much else to be done, unless you take silly risks. Okay, maybe the elite players might find some tricks and they might make it work, but we both played that pretty well there, so well done.